It's about time the police sent someone out to investigate. We have many important residents, and they're very worried.
Let's talk about my compensation first.
Very well. Consider this a retainer. Have a look at the crime scene for clues. And when you're ready, we can discuss your findings. They're at the crime scene again. Don't they realize that they're going to disturb the evidence? You'd better come with me, Detective.
What the hell do you think you're doing? This is a crime scene.
Do you not see it? The glory of the thing, the artistry.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Excuse me?
Ezra, you have outdone yourself. Oh, this is your finest work. There is more emotion in his death than most have had in their entire lives.
Our friend is dead, Mr. Avita. Have you no respect?
How do you like to eat your kibble in here?
To make a spectacle of it. There is nothing worse than
if I may.
That's what
I
this
could
is to
just
you?
have your attention.
You're sick.
I'm sorry for shouting, but the detective has arrived and shall begin the investigation henceforth. Please return to your rooms until the detective has examined the crime scene and had a chance to come speak with you. Have a look at the crime scene for clues. And when you're ready, we can discuss your findings. You are free to question the residents, but their safety is our priority. So unless you have solid evidence, I would avoid accusations.
Protect and serve. Protect and serve.
Is this blood? Looks like the brain enclosure was smashed. Hey.
If we're taking a break, how's about a strong drink? Heard about the experiments they did in places like this. Human decency must have been in short supply back then.
Protect and serve.
There we go. A baseball bat. What is this doing here?
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
Your residents are robots.
Not robots, Detective. Well, not exactly, anyway. I believe the term they use is Robo brain. Back before the war, the residents decided the best way to wait it out was to put their brains inside robotic chassis. Was there anything else?
Tell me about the victim.
Mr. Ezra Parker was the primary owner and financier for the hotel. He had vast experience managing venture projects around the world. It was his idea to have our premier clients become investors in the vault section of the hotel. He worked with Vault Tech to have this built to their every specification. Was there anything else?
I found the murder weapon.
Oh, no. That's the bat from Mr. McKinney's movie. You don't think he could be involved, do you? I can't imagine him ever doing such a thing. Was there anything else?
I'm not sure where I should start.
I suppose you should try to figure out how he died, and then who had the means and motive to kill him. Once you have enough evidence, then I suppose you'll need to confront the killer. Was there anything else?
Never mind.
I'll be here, should you need me.
Why'd you do it, huh? He deserved better than that.
You think I'm stupid? I saw the way he looked at you. You gonna tell me that's nothing?
It wasn't like that. We were friends. He helped me out of a tight spot or two is all.
I couldn't stand by like some pasty-faced Percy while he put the moves on my best girl.
But now the law is on our tail. What are we going to do?
Come away with me. Let's leave this dark hole of a city behind. We can be in Buenos Aires by tomorrow.
Oh, I want to believe you, I do, but they'll never let us go.
Then we'll make our stand here. I've got a gun for each of us.
No, 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 no. The line is, then we'll make our stand here. Two lovers together with a bullet for each of them.
God, why can't I ever get that line? Forget it. I can't do this right now.
Fine. I'm going to the beach.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
It's obviously Santiago. He keeps going back to look at the crime scene.
I found your baseball bat at the crime scene. Care to explain how it got there?
Someone is clearly trying to frame me for the murder. It's probably Santiago. You saw him skulking around the crime scene.
What were you and Gilda talking about when I walked in?
Oh, we were just rehearsing a scene. Nothing to worry about.
Maybe later.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help. Well. If it isn't the long arm of the law. Tell me, are you a devotee of the arts? Does that cruel muse call you to her entrapping bosom?
Can we talk about the murder?
There will be plenty of time for that. We have more important matters to attend to. Come with me.
Art is life. Without it, we are no different than animals.
Perhaps, if all we are is a sentience floating in a suit of flesh, or metal, I suppose, then art is the only true communion with the world. Come with me. Tell me, what does this piece say to you?
I don't know. It looks kind of like a face. That spot is the eye. The red blotch is its hair, and it's sticking its tongue out.
Indeed. This was the last piece I did in a series of portraits of Gilda. Number 1378. Her emotional landscape is superimposed on the portrait. The reality of the subject is distorted as the ego attempts to project itself. This way. Tell me, what does this one say to you?
It's the war. Bombs from every direction, no up or down, the world turned on its head.
I suppose in a way it must be. Art shapes the world, and the world shapes art in return. All art must therefore be constantly reborn through the lens of contextual and historic interpretation. We must ascend. And what about this one? And please be... honest. For art without honesty is just politics.
It's a metaphor. A young creature grappling with ideas it doesn't possess the capability to understand.
Intriguing. The mind will superimpose meaning where none was intended. I had not considered it. Truth be told, this is my best-selling piece. I did this series under a pseudonym, of course. This series has made more money than any of my serious works. And I did the whole thing as a lark. What does that tell you about the value of art to the common man, huh? Ah, my fellow connoisseur of the art. Here to see my latest work?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
The person you should be looking at is Juliana Riggs. That Philistine would not know art from her own excrement. She and Ezra had a rather dramatic fight recently. You could hear her banshee screeches all the way across the hotel.
What were Juliana and Ezra arguing about?
I don't know. I was painting at the time and I was trying to block it out. Though I bet Gilda probably heard them. Maybe you should check with her.
Tell me about yourself.
What is there to tell? I am one of the premier artists in the world. My work is primarily in oil paint, but I have been known to do sculpture or performance art as well.
Never mind.
Isn't the brave detective. I haven't seen someone with a body like that in far, far too long.
Can we talk about the murder?
Oh, boo, you're no fun. I suppose we can talk about the case unless you'd rather hear some stories from my acting career.
Can you answer some questions?
Perhaps if we were better acquainted, I'd be willing to share what I know. Surely you must be here for my salacious stories of the silver screen.
All right.
Did you know that while filming Night of the Fishman's Return, Cynthia Marsh had the most terrible allergic reaction to the fishman suit? More than half the scenes had to be done with her stunt double, and that stunt double ended up having an affair with her co-star. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
My favorite subject. Simply put, darling, I'm the greatest actress in the world. When this international scuffle blows over, I shall return to the silver screen and lead the world to a new golden age of cinema. Did you need something else?
I found Keith's baseball bat at the scene of the murder. Any thoughts on how it got there?
I don't know, Detective. I can't really imagine Keith killing Ezra. Did you need something else?
What were you and Keith talking about when I came in?
Oh, that? We were rehearsing. Gotta stay sharp if we're going to rebuild Hollywood. But Keith always gets flustered when he's upset. Did you need something else?
Apparently, Juliana had a big argument with Ezra a few days before he died. Did you happen to overhear any of the conversation?
Oh, yes. I haven't seen a woman go off like that since Teresa Dubois fired her costume designer. But to get back to your question, it was fever pitch, Detective. She had apparently gone to the overseer's office to check on the state of things and found it in horrible disrepair. But, and this is where it gets interesting, it sounded like she found something that really set her off. Couldn't hear what, though. Did you need something else?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Well, it is a bit strange how obsessed Santiago has been with the murder. I mean, he's always been a bit obsessive, though. He did a whole series of paintings of me, hundreds, said I was his muse. It was flattering for a while, but the man is a bit much, even for me. Did you need something else?
Never mind.
I'll be around, languishing from your inattention.
Not sure what the point of building this was. Got beaches all over the island.
Hello, Mr. Whiskers. Who's a pretty kitty?
Juliana, Mr. Whiskers died last month. This is Scruffy.
Look at this
Remember?
mess.
Oh, of course. Silly me.
Just let me have a look at the neural interface matrix, and I'm sure I can clear that.
No. No, it's not that. I've just caught another cold. Probably something that got in when they sent Pearl out.
Oh, God. Not this again. Last month you were convinced you had the measles.
You're not a doctor. What would you even know about it? And besides, I think it may be malaria.
First of all,
Hello, Detective.
I am a doctor.
Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
If you ask me, it's one of those actors. Or that horrible painter. Their type is always the cause of violence.
I heard you had a big fight with Ezra a few days ago. Care to explain?
Oh, well, it wasn't that big a deal, really. He wanted more money to pay for repairs on the hotel. I wasn't feeling well that day and lashed out a bit at the poor man. I really should have listened to him more.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Juliana Riggs, heiress to the Riggs fortune and wife of Bert Riggs. I'm not sure what else you expected, Detective.
What's with all the junk in here?
These are our things. We're just waiting till the war blows over so we can bring them back to the mansion.
Never mind.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective. Yes, but not a real doctor.
Hello, Detective. Did you need something?
Have you noticed Juliana acting strangely lately?
Oh, well, I'm probably just being paranoid, but she's been so much more pleasant lately. I mean, it's been nice, but also a bit unnerving. Most people don't really understand us, but I always appreciated how she can just take charge of a situation. It's what allowed me to focus on my research. I'm worried something has happened to her. She doesn't seem like the same person. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
What do you mean Juliana's not the same person?
My wife has always been a very harsh woman, Detective. I don't know who it is in our rooms, but that is not my wife, Detective. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Please, just go. Secondly, I've told you time and again, you
Hello,
can't
Detective.
get sick inside
Did you have a
the
question
suit.
about the heinous
It's
murder?
not physically possible.
Maybe later.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective. I know when I'm getting sick, Bert. Now, why don't you just wander off and play in your lab? Mr. Scruffy and I are going to rewrite the will, so he will get everything when I die, because Bert, believe me.
Hello again.
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
Lock's really strong. Maybe Maxwell has the key.
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
The door to the overseer's office is locked.
Oh, yes. Mr. Parker locked it a while back, after finding out that one of the other residents had been inside. Said it wasn't safe. If the key isn't on him, it's probably in Mr. Parker's room. Was there anything else?
question about the heinous murder?
Hello, Detective. Did you need something? Oh.
Bingo.
Progress on construction of the second wing of the vault is completely stalled. Once a premier area of the vault had been completed, funding seems to have been cut off. My supervisors have informed me that they haven't received payment from Mr. Parker, and Vault-Tec won't pay out of pocket to continue construction. I've repeatedly approached Ezra about the finances, but he keeps telling me that Mrs. Riggs hasn't transferred the funds. However, when I asked her, Juliana said that she had just given Ezra extra for the gold paint in the rooms. I've hired an investigator to look for signs of embezzlement in a few weeks.
Sounds like Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
I found some evidence that Ezra was embezzling from you and the other investors.
Oh, well, I really don't believe that. Mr. Parker wouldn't do such a thing, I'm sure.
fellow connoisseur of the arts. Here to see my latest work?
I think you should explain why you keep returning to the crime scene.
It's for inspiration, detective. The others do not like to think about it, but even we shall die someday. Like Prometheus's torch, it kindles within me the fire to create as much art as I can with the time that I have.
It sounds like you've done a lot of paintings of Gilda. Why her?
Our Gilda is a very singular creature, detective. Do you not see the joie de vivre from within her? I have never met another who clings to life so tenaciously, who lives so in the moment. I must admit I was quite smitten with her for a time.
You're still in love with Gilda, aren't you?
So what if I am? What business is it of yours? She deserves someone who truly understands her ephemeral beauty, not that brute actor.
Maybe later.
Good. I hope my paintings are able to open your mind to new possibilities.
Protect and serve. Protect and serve.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
I think you're the murderer. The brain enclosure was smashed in, and your bat was at the scene of the crime.
What? That makes no sense at all. What motive would I possibly have to kill Ezra?
Maybe you could give me a reason it couldn't be you.
I would never harm Ezra, Detective. I was in love with him.
Tell me about you and Ezra.
Oh, God, I don't know. When we first met him, he was just so mysterious and exciting. It seemed like he had been everywhere and done everything. I convinced Gilda that we should invest in the hotel so I could stay close to him. But he never seemed to realize how I felt. I mean, we spent time together. Going hunting, having drinks, talking about his plans for the hotel. He must have known, but he never said anything. Do you have any idea what it's like to pine for someone for 200 years, Detective?
Tell me about yourself.
We went over this before, Detective. There's no motive.
Maybe you could give... Tell me about yourself.
We went over this before.
The motive doesn't matter. All the clues point to you.
This is bullshit. You're not the law. You're a dead man. Here we go.
A bit of exercise. And always sell what we can't use ourselves.
I found the killer. It was Keith.
That's just terrible. I can't believe it. And after all this time. Thank you for your assistance, Detective. The residents pooled this to pay for your services.